Hey, hello and welcome. This is Summer Piha from the Conscious.Classroom Certification Model. Check us out at cccmodel.com. You're listening to Let's Talk ECE, the place on the internet where we talk tips, tricks, and perspective shifts related to all things early childhood. Join Summer and Rachel in their mindset shifting discussions on common topics in the early childhood world. You'll hear real stories from their time working together as an owner-director pair and how they learn to see things from each other's perspectives over the years, so you can learn how to openly discuss these viewpoints and find common ground within your leadership team. Okay, so today we're going to talk about breakfast. Well, kind of. Your work breakfast. That initial thing that you do in the day that gets your day rolling. It's all about eating that frog for breakfast. Years ago, I read a book by Brian Tracy called Eat Your Frog for Breakfast. Now, I don't remember specific details about the book, but I do remember the phrase, eat your frog for breakfast. And it's about doing all the things that you're dreading right away in the morning. We call that eating your frog for breakfast.
I have to admit, the first time that you said this to me, I was like, excuse me, what? But after some time of really putting it into practice, it became such a transformational part of my day. As someone who doesn't like to disappoint people and doesn't like conflict, it was really, really easy for me to put that frog in a drawer, shut it, and then do literally anything but that task, which led to those higher levels of stress when I finally had to deal with it.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time avoiding something that's in the back of our mind, and it compounds and it adds stress throughout the day. Not only does it weigh on us, but it makes us less efficient and more likely to make mistakes in other tasks because we have it hanging over us. So let's talk about how to set ourselves up for success. I always love to talk about building habits for success. And Rachel, I want to be clear. Like, success looks different to everyone. I don't believe in one definition of success. So when I'm talking about building up habits, I'm talking about how to help you reach your highest level of success. It may look like time management or delegation or working out or eating healthy, getting your water in, right? So many things fall under this, both in the personal category and in the workplace.
Yeah. And we literally just had this conversation too the other day, right? When I was calling in to like, I'm just going to drink my coffee all day long instead of drinking water. And I came in and felt like garbage and I had brain fog and I knew better, but I wasn't doing better, right? I just didn't actively put it into practice. So I wasn't setting myself up for success. Things got busy. I had a lot to accomplish, and coffee was just my comfort. So I let the water kind of go to the side.
It's really easy to fall back into old patterns and old habits when things get stressful or out of routine. So being aware that you're falling into those habits is super duper important.
Yeah. And how often are those old habits avoiding the frog, avoiding those hard parts of your day? It's probably one of the biggest things I see when we work with leadership teams, because when stuff gets stressful, we want to bury our heads instead of taking it head on. So just taking that step back and really reminding ourselves to eat the frog can be so vital.
I love that. Being able to eat your frog for breakfast supports you in being able to manage your time effectively. So let's talk a little bit about time management. Okay, so often I hear owners and directors saying, I'm in the classroom all day long. I can't get my work done because I'm in the classroom. I'm in ratio. And, just those types of things. And guess what? Sometimes that's true. Yes, right? We might be super short-staffed and just doing the best with what we have. But I'll be honest, a lot of times when people tell me that, and I work with them, we discover that it's not really the case. They're actually doing a lot of other things, like building relationships with their staff, or maybe taking on responsibilities that they shouldn't be handling. So you guys, we had a client that told me, I'm in the classroom all day long. And once I sat down with her, I realized there was a lot more going on. It really had more to do with the culture of the program. She wasn't in there because she had to be in there for ratio. It was more of a culture issue, and she was in there trying to build relationships to keep staff.
And I think that is such an important thing to bring up, because as directors, I think we'll say something like, we have to be in the classroom all day, and we're not thinking past that, right? We don't necessarily mean for ratio. So I think as an owner, that could probably be frustrating. You're like, no, you don't have to be in there. What are you talking about? But we mean because we're worried that people are going to quit, or we mean there's a huge issue in culture right now and we're trying to correct it. So we need to take time to build those relationships, and both are valid reasons, but being able to define that actual why becomes so vital, because we can be more intentional and build it into our time better, right? So if the actual issue is worrying that people are going to quit and needing to build those relationships instead of being in the classroom all day, we can do things like time block to be in the classroom, really put intention into our one-on-one meetings, making sure that we're talking about culture at staff meetings, and just like taking those steps to back out of the drama and realize that there are other things we can do outside of being in the classroom all day to correct the issue and to get work done still.
I'm actually so glad. I'm really glad you said something about time blocking, because I really want to get into it and talk about what that means.
Yes, I love time blocking. That was such a game changer for me.
Okay. So time blocking essentially, and I mean, I'm just going rogue here. If you Google time blocking, you'll come up with a different definition, right? But time blocking is essentially where you utilize your calendar and then chunk out all of your tasks instead of just having that arbitrary running to-do list. And this way you don't miss out on tasks, and it's not as easy to push things off. Rachel, can you share with us a little bit about how you use time blocking as a director?
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, what I did is I took like a big look at all of my tasks and all of my responsibilities, and I batched them together so that I could do related tasks on the same day. So that kind of flowed really nicely. So anything to do with ordering, I always did on Wednesdays because I already had to do the lunch order that day anyway. So ordering snacks or materials for the office or whatever, it all batched together and just made it really easy. So I could just set that on my calendar. Same things where I did one-on-ones the same times and same days every week. So that was just consistently on my calendar. It was blocked off and I knew exactly when I was going to do it. Things like reviewing staff files I do on that day too, just anything staff related. Right. And then there were things that were on there every day. Like I blocked off 30 minutes twice a day to read and respond to emails, to make sure that, if I was getting those angsty emails, I wasn't just ignoring them, right?
Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you utilized your calendar for everything. Did this help you take control of your days?
Oh my gosh, yes, massively. It was such a huge shift from feeling like I had this never ending to-do list to be able to have like sections of time dedicated to what I knew I actually had to get done. So I always knew that I was getting work done. I stopped feeling like I was always losing my day.
Awesome. Were you able to complete all or a majority of your tasks following this time blocking method?
I was, and it made it so I couldn't just avoid the tasks, right? I couldn't just put that frog in the drawer. So if there were those cranky parent emails, I couldn't push it off because it was on my calendar to respond, right? I just had to eat the frog, which was so nice.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing how you adopted Eat the Frog for Breakfast model into your daily routine. This is so helpful. And if you at home, listeners, if you found this helpful and are looking for more tips on productivity, Follow the Conscious Classroom on social media.